So you'll begin standing at the front of your mat with your feet about hip width distance apart. Chris will start midway down his mat just so you can see him well. Place your hands on your outer hips and then just let your eyes softly close and take about 5 breaths here. If you work with Ujjayi breath, you can seal the lips gently closed without clenching the teeth and breathe smoothly in and out of the nose. Okay, and then we'll work with what I'll call rib gliding. So keep your pelvis quite neutral. And from your waistline and above, shift the top half of your trunk over to the right on an inhalation. And then you'll exhale, come back to neutral in the middle. You'll breathe in and shift over to the left and exhale. Just continue like that on your own. Really subtle work, not a huge movement. Just sort of storing this in your muscle memory for some things that we'll do later on. Keep rib shifting side to side, but begin to hinge at your hips until you come into a forward fold as you rib shift side to side. For me, this was kind of a newer feeling, so just kind of approaching it with a little curiosity. What does it feel like to move side to side? Can you keep the weight even in the feet as you shift side to side and even in the hips? And then just fold sort of symmetrically right down the midline and let your head hang. And stop with the rib shifting in the next couple of breaths. Just sort of hang and let the head release, the jaw and the tongue relax. Okay, and then you'll place your 2 blocks near your feet if they're not already there. If you don't have blocks, it's okay. You'll still be able to work with us. So now come up just a little bit out of the back bend when you breathe in, and then you'll exhale, rib shift to the right, and then fold over the front seam of the right thigh. Good, and you'll continue like that about 2 or 3 more times. Inhale, lengthen and rib shift maybe a little further without forcing anything. And just keep going side to side. And as you go side to side, try to keep your pelvis even. So it's really just small movements in the upper trunk from the waistline and the rib basket and up. Okay, the next time you fold over to the right, stay there. And then see if you can, maybe even by using your hand, just take kind of the belly, the skin of the belly over to the right so that you're folding more over the midline of your right leg. And maybe you even walk your hands off to the right. You can take the blocks with you or hands to the floor and just sort of crawl them over and over to the right. But keep the weight heavy in your left foot. Just about 1 more breath exploring the rib gliding over to your right. And then you'll come back through the center. Take the blocks with you and just hang 1 breath or so. And then we'll do all of the same to the left. So you'll breathe in and exhale, shift to the left and then stay. And think of the belly sort of flesh and skin. You might scoop it off the thigh and sweep it over a little more to the left. But again, without forcing, especially at the very beginning of class when we're not quite warm yet. And you can take your hands with you and shift over and over and over to the left. Maybe both hands come outside of the left foot. It might look very different from Chris's. You kind of work on your own. About 1 more breath. Okay, and then come back through the center. And take your time. You'll bend your knees, chin to the chest, either round or hinge your way up to stand. And then still with the eyes closed, prayer your hands together at the center of the chest. And we'll start here together with an Om. Breathe in. your eyes. And release the hands, and you'll float the eyes open. Place your blocks on your mat, in the front edge of the mat in the corners, on the medium or the lower height. So if you have shorter hamstrings, the medium height will be best for you. Otherwise, the lowest height, and we'll meet in downward facing dog with your hands up on the blocks. Just 3 breaths here. Or so. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. And exhale, step the foot outside of your right block for a lizard variation as you lower the back knee down. Now breathe in and reach your right arm as far forward as you can, then up towards the ceiling and all the way back behind you. Maybe you tap the back of your left thigh. And then as you exhale, reach back first, then reverse your steps up and over until your fingertips come to the wood floor in front of your mat or close to that. Twice more like that. Breathe in, windmill the right arm up and over. Reach the arm almost out of the shoulder socket. Good, and you'll exhale, reach out and up. Fingertips maybe to the wood floor. And last one, breathe in and reach a little further this time, all the way around, open the chest. Watch the arm bone turning in the socket as you come right back forward. Good, now tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee off of the floor. And you might take the block with you under your right fingertips or just have them come straight to the floor as you crawl your right hand off of your mat onto the wood floor. You're going forward and let your head bow and draw your right rib basket, your right armpit forward. Come up onto your right fingertips if possible. And then for me, it was interesting to explore the diagonal line from my left heel to my right fingertips. Get as long along that line as you can. Good, relaxing the neck. Maybe your head is just really soft towards the floor. One more breath, make a little bit more length along the diagonal line. And at the bottom of this exhale, return your right hand back inside the right foot with your block if you brought it with you. Okay, now breathe in, squeeze your right knee into your right arm and pick your right foot up off of the floor. And then you'll draw the knee forward and step your right foot inside of the right block. Okay, inhale, extend your right leg straight in the knee, reach your heart forward, turn your blocks up if you need. And then exhale, rib shift to the right and try to get the mid-seam of your trunk over the mid-seam of your right thigh as you fold forward any amount. You have about 2 more breaths here to shift the rib basket, the belly a little to the right, and fold. And 1 more breath. Slacken your tongue a bit. Exhale. Okay, when you inhale, bend your right knee, look forward. And exhale, step the left foot forward, hip width from the right at the top of the mat. Take the block in your right hand and bring it behind your back. Grab on with both hands. Okay, and now wrap your fingers around the block and try to crush the block. Press your palms into the block well. Extend your arms any amount and lift the block up off of the pelvis as best you can, but let your head hang. Okay, and now as you roll up, don't do it yet, but listen, as you roll up, imagine I've sort of hooked your block and I'm pulling it up towards the ceiling. That's the fastest thing to go up towards the ceiling as you come up. Roll the shoulder heads back, chin to chest, come up. And then at the top, breathe in and lift the block up and your heart up as you lift the belly towards the throat. Now exhale, take the block in your right hand and sweep it up and overhead as you grab on with the left hand. And then crush the block again, breathe in, lift the block up higher, smooth your front ribs in. Exhale, take the block in the left hand, circle it around the back, and grab on with both hands. Breathe in, crush the block, lift it up behind you as you pick up the chest, navel towards the throat. Exhale, curl the chin to the chest, soften your knees as you round down into a forward fold, pick the block up higher and higher, and then release the block down and your right hand down, medium height for a breath. Setting up the blocks. When you inhale, send your right leg back and tap the back knee down. Now exhale through a cat spine. So look at your belly, round the spine, heavy the tail as you come up into Anjaneyasana. Lift the arms up. And then when you get there, breathe in and push the top of your right foot down to the floor. Lift your waistline. You'll exhale, plant your hands on the blocks and come to a figure 4 down dog. Your left ankle will cross in front of your right thigh. Keep the figure 4 on the legs and come forward into plank pose. Pause here a couple of breaths. Lift your inner left knee away from the floor. Even out the hips. Good. And just about one more breath. Strong right leg, strong belly. Okay, now step your left foot to the left side of your mat on the floor and then come into an asymmetrical downward facing dog. Chris, you can come a little more forward with your left foot, just a little bit. Yep. Good. And now, just as you would in down dog, imagine your outer hips going up and back so that the trunk feels like it's in down dog. The legs are just a little bit askew. Okay. And the next time you breathe in, lift your left arm up to twist. Press your right hand down into the blocks. Good. And then it felt good to me to let my right buttock sort of drop down to the floor, but keep lifting the hips up and back like down dog. And then from here, imagine someone is pulling your left wrist up. You're going to come all the way up to stand. If it feels impossible, shorten your stance by coming up high on your right fingertips and put the weight back in your heels. Keep the twist and imagine now you're holding a giant beach ball. Lift the beach ball up as you twist more and more and more, like you're spiraling from your right foot to your right wrist, and keep revolving around in the twist and lifting the heart. It's okay if the hips are a little disorganized and uneven. Good. Now unspiral as you exhale and plant your hands back down onto the blocks. Breathe in and come to plank pose. Extend the legs back behind you. Exhale, lower your knees down and bend your elbows an inch for chaturanga, just an inch, strong belly. Then inhale to up dog with the knees down. As you exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pause here, one breath in and exhale. When you inhale, send your left leg up behind you. Exhale to step the left foot outside of your left block. Tap the back knee down. Breathe in, reach your left arm far away from you as you windmill the arm up and overhead. Maybe the fingertips tap the back of the right thigh. Exhale, reverse that. Reach fingertips all the way to the wood floor. Twice more. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Last one on your own. And breathe out, and then your fingertips, left fingertips to the wood floor. Tuck your back toes under and pick the back knee up, and then you'll take your block with you if you wish, or just keep crawling the left fingertips forward. And then get as long as you can from your right heel to your left fingertips. Glide your left lung, the outer seam of your left ribs, your left waistline beyond your inner left knee. And really strengthen the back leg. You have about one more breath. Get even longer along that diagonal. On your exhalation, you'll draw the left hand back inside of the left foot. Plant your hand on the block. And then breathe in. Squeeze your left knee to the left arm and pluck the left foot off of the floor for sort of a half crow feeling. Good. Draw the knee forward now between the arms and step the foot inside of the block. Inhale to straighten through your left leg. And you'll exhale, rib glide to the left, and then fold over the left thigh. You have about 2 more breaths to play with that very gently. On your inhale, bend your left knee, look forward. Exhale, step your right foot forward next to the left, hip width apart. Breathe in, grab your left block behind the back. And it'll be on the widest setting. This time, wrap your fingers around the block, but pull them apart from one another as you straighten the elbows any amount. Lift the block off of your low back as best you can. Tuck your chin to the chest, look at the belly, and on your next exhalation, round your way up to stand. Block leads the way up. When you get to the top, breathe in, pull the block apart and lift it up as you pick up the heart, back bend. You'll exhale the block with your left hand out and up overhead. Grab on with both hands. Breathe in, pull it apart. As you lift it higher, lift your waistline higher. Exhale, take it in the right hand and sweep the block behind you once again. Pull the block apart, breathe in, lift it back and up as you lift the chest. And on your exhale, keep lifting the block as you draw the chin to the chest, round forward into a fold. Take a breath here to plant your hands on medium height blocks. And on your next inhale, send your left leg back behind you and lower the knee down. When you exhale, look at the belly. You're going to take your arms with you as you go and round through a cat spine. Heavier tail all the way up to Anjaneyasana. The arms will lift. Good. At the top, breathe in, press to the top of the left foot and lift the waist. Exhale, plant your hands on the blocks, figure 4, downward facing dog. Breathe in, come forward to figure 4, plank pose. Pause a couple of breaths. Notice if you're tucking your tailbone underneath you, try to find your lumbar curve. It'll almost feel like you're sticking your butt out a little bit. Good, and then you'll step your right foot off to the right side of your mat and come into an asymmetrical downward facing dog. Good. Pike your hips up and back. Imagine you're getting the adjustment from the teacher where they pull your outer hips up and back gently. Okay, when you breathe in, sweep your right arm up to twist. And then you can let the left side of the pelvis sort of drop a little bit. And remember, if you need to, you shorten your stance. Come all the way up to stand. Weight in the heels as though someone is pulling you up by your right wrist. Strong belly. Good. And then keep revolving. Keep revolving. Hold the giant ball in the palm of the hands and across the chest. And then lift up into a back bend as you revolve. Good. Press more into your left foot and spiral all the way up and out of your left wrist. Good. Unravel, grounding your feet as you come back into your asymmetrical downward facing dog. Good. Take your time as you come to plank pose. Hands on the blocks. Exhale, tap your knees down and bend your elbows just an inch or two for chaturanga, not all the way. Good. Breathe in and lift up into upward dog, knees down. Exhale, Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, step the foot outside of your right block. Windmill the arm as you breathe in. Tap your back knee down, forward and up. And exhale, reach way back and around. Fingertips to the wood floor as you breathe in. Tuck the back toes. You're just doing that once. Fingertips to the wood floor. Fingertips to the wood floor. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Good, and then you'll stay here just for the inhalation. Walk your right fingertips forward, get longer. And then as you exhale, replace the hand back inside of the right foot. Good, breathe in, squeeze the knee to the hand, pick up your right foot, half crow. Exhale, draw the knee forward towards your nose, and then empty your breath, step the foot inside of the right block. Inhale, straighten through your right leg, reach your chest forward. And as you exhale, rib shift to the right, and this time bring your left hand to the block that's outside of your right leg. You're not going to twist here. Just inhale and reach your right arm straight out to the right, just straight out to the side. Can you get longer from your heart away from your pubic bone? You could even be up high on your left fingertips. Good. Take about one more breath. Energetically pull your left hand towards the left side of your mat. Okay, and you'll replace your hands back on the blocks. Breathe in, bend your right knee, and exhale, step forward as you fold over your legs. No block, but imagine you're holding one behind your back. As you exhale, bend your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, and round up to stand. Breathe in, pick the block up higher, lift the heart. Exhale, sweep your arms out and up overhead. Inhale, pick the imaginary block up higher, lift the back of the heart. Exhale, reach back behind you. Imagine you're holding the block. Breathe in, pick the block up, pick the heart up. Exhale, chin to your chest as you lift the imaginary block and fold. Hands to the blocks, medium height or lowest height. Breathe in, send your right leg back to lunge. Exhale, round up through a cat spine to high lunge. Look at your belly as you go. Drop the tail. At the top, breathe in, pick up the chest, strong back leg. Exhale, figure 4 down dog. Plant your hands, left ankle on top of your right thigh. Inhale, come forward into figure 4 plank. Exhale, step the foot off the mat. Downward facing dog as you breathe in. On your exhale, sweep the left arm up as you twist. Breathe in, come all the way up to stand, strong legs. Exhale, twist a little more and pick the heart up like you're holding the beach ball. You'll unravel as you breathe in, hands down onto the blocks. Exhale, stay, lift the outer hips up and back. And breathe in, come to plank pose with your hands on blocks. Exhale, lower any Chaturanga Dandasana you'd like, or just knees to the floor. Inhale, any size back bend, maybe cow spine. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe in, left leg up behind you. Exhale, step the foot outside of the left block. Inhale the back knee down as you sweep your left arm up and around. We're just doing this once this time, and then you'll exhale back where you came from. Fingertips to the wood floor. Breathe in, tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee, get long on the diagonal. And when you exhale, replant the left hand inside of the left foot. Inhale, squeeze the left knee to the arm and pick the foot up. Exhale, draw the knee in between the arms towards the nose and step the foot inside the block. Breathe in, straighten through both legs, high height on the blocks if you need. And then you'll exhale, rib shift to the left as you fold over the thigh and bring your right hand to the block outside the foot if you'd like. You can always keep it on the other block. Reach your left arm out to the side, breathe in and try to get longer in your left waistline. And exhale. About one more breath. Reach the sternum forward and keep crawling your left fingertips out to the left. Really nice. Lower the hands down onto the blocks. Breathe in, bend your left knee, lunge. Exhale, step your right foot forward and fold over the legs. Imagine you're holding a block behind you as you breathe in. And you'll exhale, lift the hands as you round up. Inhale, sweep your arms back behind you. Lift the block up higher behind you as you lift the heart into a back bend. Yeah, and then exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and up and overhead. Good. Breathe in, lift your imaginary block, lift the back of the heart. And exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. Grab onto the imaginary block as you breathe in, lift it up higher, lift the pubic bone. And you'll exhale, drop the chin to the chest as you round slowly forward over the legs. Hands to the blocks, breathe in, left leg back behind you. And then through a cat spine as you exhale, round your way up to a high lunge. Breathe in at the top, lift the waist. Exhale, figure 4, downward facing dog. Breathe in, come forward to figure 4 plank. Exhale, step the foot off to the right side of the mat. Downward facing dog as you breathe in. Exhale your right arm up to twist. You'll breathe in and come all the way up to stand. Ground through your heels as you come up. Exhale, revolve a little bit more and lift the heart, lift the arms a tiny bit. Unravel as you exhale, plant the hands on the blocks. Down dog, stay. And then on your next inhalation, come to plank pose, hands on the blocks. Exhale, lower any kind of chaturanga or just knees to the floor. Inhale, cow or an up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels and hips up. Exhale, bend the knees, lightly hop or step your feet up to the top of the mat. Breathe in, chest forward, long spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. You'll exhale the hands at the heart. Breathe in, sweep your arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale your chest forward, prepare. Exhale, hop or step through chaturanga or again to hands and knees. Inhale, cow or an up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Down Dog or Child's Pose. About 3 breaths. And the next inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Look forward, either hop or step to the top. Breathe in, sternum forward. Exhale as you fold. Urdhva Hastasana, inhale the arms overhead. Tadasana as you breathe out. And then you have about 3 minutes on your own. Chris is going to continue to do Sun Salutation A. You're welcome to take anything that's speaking to you. Maybe you are interested in Qigong, a little bit of bouncing, or some cardio, even if it's just jumping jacks, or you want something a little slower, pigeon. 3 or so minutes here. In about 5 or so breaths, we'll land at the front edge of your mat. Have your blocks on the highest height, about shoulder width distance apart, in front of your mat. You can stand in mountain pose or forward fold if you'd like. You still have about 3 or so breaths to join us there. When you arrive, close your eyes and take about 3 smooth breaths. Okay, inhale, come to chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hover your left foot back until it comes to the floor. So you'll be on a high lunge, but on a diagonal. Toes to the floor. Good. And then you'll breathe in, high lunge. Exhale, prayer your hands at the chest. Rib glide slightly to the right as you twist to your right, hooking the elbow outside the leg. Good. Now breathe in, sweep your right arm alongside your right ear like you're crawling your right fingertips on the floor. Exhale your right hand to your right block and open up into half moon pose. Right hand to the block in front of your mat, half moon pose. Yeah, it's a little tricky. You're unraveling Ardha Chandrasana. You'll stay there for your breath in. Wake up the left leg, the left toes. And on your exhale, land quietly in Warrior Two. Land with your left big toe to sort of catch you there. Good. When you arrive, breathe in, peaceful triangle. Straighten the right leg, sweep your right arm up. And exhale, come to a low lunge to your right foot. Breathe in, step your left foot forward. Exhale, fold into your legs, release the tongue. Breathe in, chair pose, Utkatasana. Stay very low. Hover your right foot back as you exhale to this diagonal high lunge. Then breathe in, high lunge, lift the chest. Exhale, prayer your hands at the heart, rib shift to the left as you twist, hooking the elbow. Breathe in, sweep the left arm alongside your left ear. You'll exhale the left hand to your left block as you open into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And when you arrive, breathe in, brighten your right toes a bit. Exhale, Warrior Two, land quietly with your right big toe. Inhale, extend the left leg long, peaceful triangle. Low lunge on your exhalation. Breathe in, step your right foot forward, chest forward. Exhale to fold into your legs. Breathe in, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hover the left foot back, diagonal high lunge. Breathe in, pick up the chest, high lunge. Exhale, press the palms together, glide the ribs to the right as you twist. Inhale, the right arm over the right ear. Exhale, right hand to the block, half moon pose. When you arrive, breathe in, wake up the left arm, the left leg. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Peaceful triangle on your inhalation. Low lunge, exhale. Inhale your left foot forward, heart forward. Exhale, fold into your legs. Breathe in, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, hover the right foot back to lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, press the palms, glide the ribs as you twist. Breathe in, left arm alongside the left ear. Exhale, left hand to your block, half moon pose. Stay as you inhale. Exhale, Vira 2. Breathe in, peaceful triangle. Low lunge as you exhale. Inhale, right foot forward, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hover the left foot back to lunge. Breathe in, high lunge. Exhale, prayer your hands at the chest. Rib shift to your right as you revolve. And then pause here as you extend your right arm alongside your right ear. Imagine your right fingertips are on the wood floor. Crawl them further and further away from you. And then get longer on that diagonal line again. Right fingertips to left heel, longer and longer. I like to keep my left elbow bent so that I can really press the elbow into the knee and vice versa. Good. Try to get longer and longer still, especially through the back of your left knee. Good. And then you have a lot of time here to unravel into half moon Ardha Chandrasana, right hand on the block. When you arrive there, any variations you wish. You might bend the left knee and grab the foot for Chapasana. You might try floating your right hand off the block. About 2 more breaths. Slowly make your way towards a Warrior 2. We'll stay here just for a full breath to find your feet. And then on your inhale, come to peaceful triangle. Exhale, Trikonasana, triangle pose. And you can stay here in triangle, right hand onto your right shin or onto the block, or if you wish, extended side angle instead, which means you'd bend your right knee, sweep the left arm over the left ear. So either triangle or extended side angle, about 3 more breaths. And on the next inhalation or so, come to a low lunge to your right foot, straighten through your right leg. Take the blocks with you so that they're underneath your shoulders. You'll prepare your back foot as you would for pyramid pose or sort of a warrior one-like foot. So the left foot will go a little off to the left and a little bit forward on your mat, so you're shortening your stance. And then press through especially the pinky side of your left foot and the center of the left heel to help you wrap your right buttock bone back behind you. And then come to a long spine when you breathe in. Send your chest forward. Rib glide to the right as you exhale. And then you'll take your left hand outside of your right foot if you'd like. You can always leave it on the left side of the foot. Okay, you'll reach your right arm out to the side as you breathe in. And then begin to revolve into a revolved triangle. Keep pressing into the pinky edge side of the left foot to draw your outer right hip back. Good. And then even though you have rib shifted a little bit over to the right before you twisted, can you lean back? Imagine a hand behind your head that is sort of cradling the head for you. Good. And then take about 1 more breath. Imagine you're in side plank on your left hand. Push the floor away with your left hand. Go up with your right chest and your right wrist. And then you'll come through a low lunge when you breathe in. Bend your right knee. Optional vinyasa here as you exhale. Although I would like everybody to take some kind of back bend for about 3 or so breaths. So you could linger in up dog. You could lower your knees and take more of a camel back bend. Wherever you go, stay about 3 breaths in the back bend. We'll meet in a down dog in about 2 breaths or so if you're not already there. From your down dog, breathe in, lift your heels up, and exhale, lightly hop or step your feet up to the top of the mat. Place your blocks on the highest height, shoulder width apart in front of your mat, on the floor. Yep. And then we'll meet in Utkatasana on your breath in chair pose. Exhale, hover the right foot back to your diagonal high lunge. Breathe in, high lunge. Exhale, prayer, the hands at the chest, rib glide left, and then revolve. Okay, and then you'll sweep the left arm alongside the left ear. Make your right leg very strong, and then get longer on the diagonal. Good. Keep pressing right arm to left thigh and knee and vice versa. Good. Can you get a little bit longer? Last couple of breaths. And then very smoothly on your own timing, unravel into half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Wake up your right toes and take any variations you did on the first side. This shape too can have a similar feeling to side plank. Press the floor away with your left hand, go up with your right collarbone, right pec towards your right thumb. About 2 more breaths. And we will eventually meet in Warrior 2. No rush. 1 breath in. Feel your back foot as you breathe out. Inhale to peaceful triangle. Lift the left outer hip. And exhale, Trikonasana triangle pose. So you could stay here this whole time or come to extended side angle depending on what you did the first round. Just about 3 or so smooth, slow breaths. We will meet in a low lunge in about a breath. And then you'll straighten through your left leg and just be sure to bring your blocks back with you underneath your shoulders. Okay, and then begin to shorten your stance. So the right foot a little off to the right and a little bit towards the front of your mat. Press well into the pinky side edge of your right foot to draw your outer left hip back as you send your heart forward. Make the front of the spine longer. Good. Now breathe in, heart even further forward. Press through your right foot, and you'll exhale, rib glide to the left, and maybe your right hand comes to the block outside of the foot or not. You decide. Okay, now reach your left hand out to the left. Crawl it further and further and further away from you, and then like you're coming into side plank, push through your right hand and come into your revolved triangle pose. Nice. If your hand is outside of your left foot, for me, there's a feeling of energetically hugging the right foot to the right, the right hand to the right side of your mat. Press to the pinky edge of the right foot. Draw your outer left hip back. About one more breath. Imagine you're in side plank. Press down through the right hand. Go up with the left wrist. And then bend your left knee to a lunge, and you'll take any variation of a vinyasa or none at all, but I would like you to back bend of some sort. Again, camel, low cobra, up dog. Okay, we'll meet back in a downward facing dog in about a breath or two. Okay, find a figure 4 down dog with your right ankle on your left thigh as we did earlier. And then come forward into your figure 4 plank. And you'll reach your right leg out to the right as we did before, straight out to the right, foot to the floor. And then like you're lowering down through a push-up, lower all the way down onto your belly. And try to keep your right leg at hip height. For some of us, you'll bend your right knee instead. Yep, it could be straight or bent. And then just turn your forehead to the floor if that's comfortable. Yeah, or otherwise, it felt good to me to look to the left. And then crawl your left fingertips forward, all the way forward, and get really long. And press the middle of your right buttock down to the floor and try to get the inseam of your right leg to get longer. Just a couple breaths and feel the belly sort of pressing into the floor as you breathe in. Okay, now get even longer with your left arm, so even it feels like your left armpit skin is getting longer and longer and longer. Reach out through your left toes, and then you'll roll onto your left side. Your right leg will just stack on top of your left. So you can use your right hand pressing into the floor to help you. Good. Right leg stacked on top of your left. Just straight. Stacked like lumber. Yeah. Good. Okay. Walk your left fingertips a little further forward. And then reach your right arm alongside your right ear and interlace your hands overhead. Pick your right foot up off of your left foot and reach your right heel longer than your left as you pull your right knuckles away from you. Good. Get even longer. And then for me, I need to do a little bit of a rib shift. Most of us will here too. Can you shift your ribs, your right ribs up towards the ceiling, the outer left ribs away from the floor a bit? It's a really subtle feeling. If you don't quite get it, don't worry. Just get long. Reach, reach, reach. Flex your feet. You might get so long that you can feel the skin around the low belly even lengthening. Okay. Now bend your right knee and plant the right foot back behind you. Okay, good. Now You can use your right hand in front of you on the floor. Slide your right heel away from you until you come all the way up to sit. Chris, you'll be facing the heater and the plants. Slide your right heel, slide your right heel. Yep, this comes from baby movement. Come all the way up to sit. Yeah, and then open your legs so they're like a narrow Upavista Konasana. About like that. Looks good. Good. Okay, and then plant your hands back behind you and try to lengthen your tailbone back behind you as you get taller and taller. And Chris, you're going to sit up on one of the pillows. At home, if you need to, sit up on a blanket or a block. Good. And then sit up even taller. Almost feel like you're doing upward dog. You'll plant your hands either onto blocks or on your fingertops and grow taller in the spine. Breathing in. Good. And now as you exhale, glide your ribs slightly to the right and then twist. And then you can fold forward over your right leg, or you can stay upright. And as you're forward folding, keep playing with that small movement of shifting the ribs over to the right, but also lengthening your heart forward. Yeah, you might grab onto the foot with one or both hands. And just feel what it feels like to get light in your left seat, so it kind of floats off the floor. And then heavy it back down. And then you have about 2 more breaths. Soft jaw, soft tongue. Okay. And make your way back up to sit. If you put any props underneath you, just move them off to the side. And we'll reverse our steps back down. It will eventually land on the left side again. So slide your left hand away from you, down onto the floor, and come onto your left side, stacking the legs. Good, and then you're going to roll over onto your belly. Good. Take just a couple breaths. Breathe into your low back. Okay, and then you'll plant your hands by the sides of the ribs as you would want your arms for Chaturanga Dandasana. Tuck your back toes under like your legs are in plank pose. Yes, pick the knees up off the floor. Reach your heels back. Good. And then start with the strength in the belly. Don't let your belly be the last thing to lift. Try to lift your belly and your pelvis first, and you'll come through Chaturanga to a plank. If it's too much, you keep your knees down as you come up. All the way into a plank, and then downward facing dog as you exhale. Left ankle on top of the right thigh, figure 4, and you'll come forward to plank. Okay, extend the left leg out to the side. And then like you're coming through a push-up, lower all the way down. Your foot will sort of slide away from you as you come down. Good. Try to have the leg up at hip height. And you can always bend the knee as you need. Lower the forehead or turn your head to either side, and then reach your right arm straight forward and get as long as you can. Crawl, crawl, crawl the fingertips away. And then press the middle of your left buttock down towards the floor and try to scooch your inner left thigh further away from you. Another breath here. Okay, before we roll over onto the right, reach your right armpit, your right fingers further away from you as you roll over onto your right side. Just be careful, there's a block behind you, Chris. Good. And then as you come onto your side, stack your left leg on top of the right and have your heels in line with your seat. So you might notice your legs are sort of angling forward. Chris, move your heels way back so they're, yep. Okay, and then interlace your hands. Opposite thumb on top. Float your left leg on about 3 inches away from the right, and then get longer. Pull your left knuckles away from you, your left heel longer than the right. And then a really subtle rib shift, your outer right ribs away from the floor. If you don't know what I mean, don't worry. Just get long and enjoy the feeling of lengthening through the sides of the body, through the spine. Good. The tendency here would be to sort of banana in the spine or to back bend. Draw your front ribs in, reach your heels away from you. Good. Take one more breath, reach a little bit further, get a little longer. Okay, and then you'll bend your left knee and plant your left foot back behind you on the floor. And you can use your left hand to help you. Push away from the floor and then slide your left heel away from you. Left heel, slide your left heel. Yep, as you come all the way up to sit. It's as though someone is pulling you up by your left ankle. And then you'll sit up on your props if you need to. Once you're there, press your hands into blocks or the floor and get as tall as you can. Almost a feeling like up dog, but not quite a back bend, just to lift the sides of the waist. Good. When you exhale, rib shift to the left and then revolve. Good. And then you'll fold forward over the left thigh, any amount. You could also stay upright. In the forward fold, get a little light on your right seat to see how that feels. And then drill the center of the right seat back down into whatever surface it's on. About 2 more breaths. Okay, and then you'll retrace your steps. Take the prop out from under your seat if you have one, and then slide your right hand away from you on the floor and keep going until you end up back on your right side. Right hand back. That's right. And then onto the belly. Plant your hands by your ribs. Tuck the toes under. Reverse chaturanga with knees down or not. Don't let the belly be the last thing to leave. Yes, great. And child's pose this time. Lower your knees and come back. Take about 3 to 5 breaths here. And then we'll land lying on the back and have your 2 blocks near you. When you come down onto your back, bend your knees, plant your feet flat on the floor, and then open your arms out to the sides, but place the blocks on top of your hands. So it's going to be a little sort of finicky to get the blocks up on the palms on the flattest setting. Okay, and then you'll open the arms out to the side. Pick your feet up off of the floor, keep the knees bent. So when you breathe in, you'll reach your arms up towards the ceiling and draw your blocks towards one another. They don't need to touch. You're just sort of bringing them up towards the ceiling. Then as you exhale, twist your knees to the right, open the arms to a T. And continue like that. Breathe in, pick the knees and feet up, blocks up. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep going. We'll do about 4 vinyasas like that. You can go nice and slow as you wish. The next time you go to the right, you'll stay. And if you need to add your prop in between your knees, that's just fine. I like the feeling of the blocks heavying my hands. If it's not working for you, just slide your hands out from underneath them. About 2 more slow breaths. And then make your way to the second side at the bottom of this exhale. about 2 or so more breaths. We'll make our way towards Shavasana. It will be just about 3 or so minutes in this video, but you can always just go on as long as you'd like. Begin to slowly deepen the breath. You can stay on your back for our closing Om, or if you prefer to come up to sit, begin to make your way up in the next couple of breaths and take your time. And wherever you are, join your palms together at the center of the chest. We'll finish with one Om together. Breathe in. May all beings be at peace and be free, and may our actions contribute to the peace and the freedom of others, no exceptions.